like most of you probably watching, I just can't leave a car stock. I don't know, it's a problem that I have. So, these came. Pretty keen to put them on the car, I'll tell you that. It's going to change the look of it completely. Got an order from JDM Concept, and very clearly they are work wheels. So I won't tell you what they are just yet. I might unbox them, might show you, might not. Definitely going to put them on the car today though, so I'm pretty excited. It's going to completely change everything. Yeah, let's get it. So I've always really wanted this type of work wheel for a car. I feel like the style of it and the color is going to go really well with the VB WRX, make it look a little bit more tough. So pretty excited for these. They're an 18 by 9.5 plus 38. Their hub bore is about 71 point something. So I've got some hub centric rings because I believe the WRX has about a 50 something millimeter hub bore. So got the hub rings on order. They should be here on Friday, but I'll put the wheels on anyway, and then on Friday I'll just swap the hub ring in. I've also got some wheel nuts on the way. They're going to be nice black ones, but at the moment I'll just use the standard ones. So what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to double check they fit on the car, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to a tire shop and I'm going to get the tires that are currently on my WRX swapped over onto these wheels. I only have about 1,400 kilometers on my car, so the tires are completely fine. So I'm just going to get them to swap them over, as well as the tire pressure monitoring sensors, so that they're all good. I'll let you know if they actually are able to swap the tire pressure sensors over. They may not able to be. I'm not super fussed on it. I check the air in my tires all the time. Being a mechanic, it's something that I just do frequently anyway. But yeah, so I'll stop talking now, and what we'll do is we're going to get these, head over to the tire shop, and I'm going to get them to fit and swap across. I don't know how much I'm going to film. I don't know whether they really want me filming. It sucks that I don't have a time machine here because I'd be able to film the whole process, but that's how we are. So yeah, let's do it.
A few minutes later.
So I've been really looking forward to this one. It's exhaust time. Let's do it. Okay, so some of the things that the X-Force WRX kit comes with for the WRX is it's obviously got the T-pipe here. So that splits it obviously into the two. We've got the straight from the cat. This is a cat back exhaust. We've also got the tips, and we've also got these mufflers which have the actuators in them to have them from a silenced or an open mode. Additionally, there's some wiring that comes with it. So you've got your plugs that are weatherproof that plug into the WRX, and they also go into the car. It's also got a cigarette lighter plug-in, but I'll show you what I do to hardwire this in a little bit better. And as well too, it comes with the WRX module and just obviously some clamps and some flanges, and then you've got your remotes that come in the kit as well. So that's pretty exciting that this is rocked up today at the same time. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work on getting both of the exhaust and the wheels on. I've heard that they're ready to go, so let's go show you what they look like. They're pretty sick. Now, one thing I want to do is, seeing how flat that is, I'm going to give it a little bit of camber, pull it all a little bit in this way so that the wheel itself isn't just a flush mount, it'll be cambered in a little bit when we put it back on the ground, because I don't want to have to lift it up again. So I'll do this. Alright, now that the wheels are fitted, I have the fun job of installing the exhaust. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the old exhaust off. I'll show you what it looks like compared to the new exhaust, and then I'm going to start running the wiring first. So once I have all my wiring ready to go, then that's when I'll plug the new exhaust all in, and yeah, it'll be basically start up and it's all good. So I'll show you how I'm going to be doing that. Here's a comparison of the old versus the new. There's obviously a bit of a resonator up there. It's a bit of a smaller diameter exhaust compared to the new one, as well as some larger mufflers, so the WRX is smaller. I've also got tips that go on the end of these, but side-by-side comparison, pretty same. This one seems to be a little bit more to the left, whereas this is a direct split down the middle, so it will probably look a little bit better under there as well. Alright, so the WRX comes with a cigarette lighter plug-in. So I wanted to be a bit more permanent, so what I did was I actually got a female plug-in for a cigarette lighter, and then I've run it to a fuse, which I'm actually going to fuse into the cigarette lighter in the fuse box. That way there's an extra fuse behind it, so it'll be a cigarette lighter fuse and then the fuse for the actual WRX system. There's also a ground, so I actually got all of these off like Amazon, eBay sort of thing. I got a pack of these fuse kits, and I also just got this female cigarette lighter plug-in. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to run the whole wiring hidden under the car, put it in through the engine bay, and then I'm going to have it underneath all the dash so it's not super obvious. I won't actually show you me routing it, I'll just show you once it's done because it's a bit tedious, and just to get a camera in under there while I'm doing it is too much. So I'll show you the way that I ran it. I basically like to follow any parts that aren't going to be in any way impeded by the suspension and as hidden as possible. So I wanted to run it so that when you looked under the car physically, you can't just see wires hanging down. I just really don't like that look. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue running the wiring under. As soon as I'm finished, I'll show you what it looks like. It'll be the next shot for you guys. It'll probably be about 30-40 minutes for me. And as soon as I'm done that, then I'll be able to start putting the exhaust back into the car and then plug it all in, and Bob's your uncle. All right, so I've run the cigarette lighter connection all the way under the car. I actually run it through to the firewall by this little plug back here, and then what I've done is I've run it down. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. It sort of goes down and under. I've clipped it under this panel here, so under that 10mm down there, and then I've run it down and under this tray here, then under this tray, and then what I've done is I've gone up and over all of the subframe and I've tied it through to some spots that I'll show you here. So you'll see it comes out from under that tray, and then it goes up, and it sort of goes over this whole bit. And where is it? And you'll see that I kind of run it up and around this fuel bit, and then it spits out nicely. See, I've got a zip tie there, comes up, and then I've run it underneath tray here. So it comes out. This is actually the top of one of them. It then runs down and underneath here, which I'm just going to zip tie up and out the way, and then it comes up and it has the other side, so it'll be completely hidden by the time it's all plugged in. So what I'll do now is I'll zip tie up in here just to make sure that it's not going. I'm actually going to zip tie it to that brake light there, and that should be sufficient to hold it because it's behind this bracketing here, and then that way it's ready to install the exhaust. So up inside the interior of the car, I'm going to find somewhere up safe. I'm going to zip tie this WRX box so it's in, plug it in, and then with the cigarette lighter, you'll see that I've made this female bracket, which I'm going to plug in to this, and then I'll actually tape that up just so there's no metal ring around the outside of it. And then what I'm going to do here is find a ground spot for the ground, and then the fuse is just going to go into the fuse box, and you'll see there's one taken out, which is the #1 fuse for the cigarette lighter. It actually has to position left, so I'll try and get it out the way. You'll see this other one that's here, that's for the dash cameras. So you'll see the wiring. This is actually a standard wiring from Subaru for dash cameras, so that's quite interesting. But yeah. Alright, now that it's all in loosely, it's time to tighten it up. I'm going to tighten it up from the back, and then I'm also going to tighten up here, because in the middle is a slip joint, so I can make sure that it's all up and out the way as good as possible, and then after that I'll put the tips on. Alright, so now it's all hidden away. Don't mind this, this is just the Android connection for my phone. So yeah, the only thing you can really see under here is that tiny little ground that I've got hidden away. I've put it all sort of underneath, tucked it all up with the regular wiring harness, zip tied it all up there so it's out the way of any of the pedals. And now I have basically working butterfly system. So if I turn the car on, and I press this button, you'll be able to hear it actuate. Cool. Let's go listen to it.